Hey, welcome to August. August the 1st. Can you believe it? I'm in a little bit of shock that we are already in the month of August. This is the last month of summer. I can't believe it. But in a way, I'm also really grateful because today we have been living in our new home for 4 months and I cannot believe it. Literally, I don't know, it's so weird because on one hand, it feels like we moved here just yesterday, right? 4 months is nothing in the grand scheme of things. But on the other hand, it feels like we have been living here for at least a year because we did so much when we moved in. We were so busy putting together furniture, getting our lives organised, that we didn't really start relaxing and enjoying the home probably until month 2, I would say. So yeah, it's kind of amazing to think that we've lived here for that long. But do you know what is really special about this? I've just been reflecting and I was like, this is my behind the scenes video. This is the place where I can do this kind of stuff, right? I have been reflecting on how you should always take the risk or lose the chance. And this is a poster that I actually have in my hallway. And it's so true because moving here was a risk for us. My boyfriend was leaving his family and friends. I was leaving my friends that I'd made and, the routine that I had gotten used to move here to what essentially could have been the unknown. We had an idea that my boyfriend might like his job here, but nothing's ever for sure, right? So it was a risk on lots of different levels, but boy, oh boy, is it a risk that I'm glad that we took. I definitely feel better within myself. I am adjusting to working from home, smart working. This is something that's taken a bit of practice, bit of getting used to. I think I'll have better routines in the autumn, to be honest with you. But it's amazing. But yeah, we are in August the 1st today. Really, the summer wind down has well and truly begun. So those people who are still working in this period, a lot of them will finish working today for the month of summer or for a couple of weeks at least. Other people will work next week as well, myself included, before having their holiday break, which again could be for the rest of the month. It might even be until the beginning part of September. So there's just definitely a feeling of slowness in the air. And it's strange for me because I come from London. I'm not used to everything stopping in August. And I don't think people really realise this either. As a tourist, you may not even realise this. This is why I talk about it on my channel because I think it can catch people by surprise. They're not expecting things to be closed here in what is essentially a summer month. So yeah, it's this. But roll on this month. I'm ready. I'm tired. I'm ready for my holiday. I love teaching. I think, maybe through some of my videos I've spoken about this, but it is mentally draining. And at this time of the year, I just want to stop. And I think, it ties into the Amazon culture, which I touched on in a previous podcast episode of people constantly expecting a service to be 24/7. But for something like teaching, it's not feasible to expect teachers to constantly be working year round. People need a break. You need to mentally recharge, right? So yeah, I'm completely ready for this holiday. But yes, so here we are, beginning of August. Let's see what the month brings. So we are in San Mango, Piedmont, and this is a sagra for a typical pasta dish here, but my favourite band are playing here today and I cannot wait to film them for you. They're this incredible rock and roll band and I think you're going to really love them. feel like I do this every single time. I get super excited about a Sagra and it's really piccolo, but this event is cute. As I said, there's one of my favourite bands playing here later, so I think that's going to be good. And the food, well, it looks incredible, so I'm not so disappointed. So we didn't stay for the music. I'm sad, but it was freezing and I'm dressed like this. My boyfriend's in a t-shirt and shorts, and it just wasn't really the weather to stay. And not only that, I was stressed because there were a few stray dogs not on leashes and they kept bothering Tina. So we didn't see the band, even though we heard them like in sound check and they were really good. I should have filmed them then really, but never mind. There we are. The food was buona though. Hello, it's August the 6th and oh my goodness, I am busy because for the next 10 days I will not be working, and I really want to take a break from content creation for the next 10 days. And so I spent my day off from work yesterday, the entire day, filming one video and editing 3 videos. And in the end today, I filmed my last video, which will cover me for next week, Sunday. And then I've literally created 4 videos, 4 long form videos, edited them and did all of this in the space of like 2 days. Wow, I cannot believe it. It's a lot. I'm definitely realizing that I do a lot around my normal job as well. And I'm benefiting in this week because thankfully a lot of students have decided to not have lessons. It's the right thing. It's the first week in August. But it's this. But I've been thinking about a lot of stuff, right? And this is the perfect place for me to talk to you about what I'm considering, what I'm thinking about. So I was thinking a little bit about people because I read on another content creator's page the other day a comment from a troll that I used to have on my channel, and I actually blocked this troll in the end because the comments were just so unnecessary, and I was like, I don't want to read this. I know that you guys wouldn't want to read this because it's just full of hate. You don't need to be on my channel, right? If you don't like my content that much, if you don't like my message that much, why are you watching my stuff? Like, it always comes down to this. People just have nothing better to do and in their own lives than to kind of hate on other people's content. Anyway, that's another story. I digress. But literally this person was just saying in response to a comment that one of my viewers had left on this person's video about, you know, enjoying my content and finding my content compassionate. And this person had just replied and said, oh, she's so negative. You know, she sits at her desk, because I later on understood that her version, or his version, I don't even know who this person is, version of desk meant like place of judgment, criticising the bureaucracy and rah, rah, rah. And it was really interesting because reading that comment, and I did kind of be like, hi, I'm here, because, you know, people comment into a vacuum on social media sometimes and don't realise that other people can see. I realised that comments like that make me more determined than ever to keep doing what I'm doing. I've touched on this in a few videos recently, but pissing off the 80% to reach the 20%, this is my mission in life now, because you guys are members of my channel. Like, you clearly resonate with what I talk about, the message I have, the reasoning behind it. I don't care about the 80% that don't get it, really and truly, because if you want to make a success of your life here in Italy, you need to know about the stuff that I tell you about. You just do. And, you know, I always try to keep a balanced perspective, but I'm just not holding myself back. And it's a really wonderful realization that I've arrived at, I think, that you cannot control other people. I've been referencing this in one of the videos actually that I've just finished editing about like the circle of influence, which is featured in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a great book, by the way, if you've not read it, by Stephen Covey. And it's this, my circle of influence is controlling my feelings, my emotions, and the action that I take. Everything else is in the outer circle, and I cannot control what people think about my content, the comments they might leave me, but I can control how I manage those comments. Comments that are critical but with purpose appear on my channel because I think they can create healthy discussion, healthy debate. I don't believe a channel should be like all 100% positive. Like, you do need to have a balance. However, comments that are derogatory, discriminatory, filled with hate, unnecessarily so, with no purpose or reason, will never appear on my channel. And I'm very happy to have those filters in place because it's within my circle of influence. I don't want to read that stuff, and I'm pretty certain neither do you. And so this is a really important thing that I've been reflecting on this week, absolutely, as I'm working through all of my stuff and I'm preparing all my content, and I've got some great videos coming up throughout all of August. But it's this, isn't it? Focus on your circle of influence in whatever capacity that is for you, and stop placing your attention on variables that you have zero control over. And I just wanted to take a break from editing to say this because I think it's really, really important. Anyway, I've got a video to edit, the last long form video that I need to edit to cover my holiday break. So I'm going to get back to it because then I've got to go back to work. But yeah, just a little thought from me this afternoon.
Someone tell me why.
My mistake, giving you love galore. Hope you find someone that can really adore you. Don't worry, I ain't keeping grudges, cause I'm doing better, life cannot be more golden. But honestly, I won't lie, sometimes I ask why I can't get you out my head. Now hard to forget that I
really need to cut you off. You're always trying to lead me on. You're making all these promises and you'd always quit. You're just another hypocrite. No, I'm can't, she got no